Tag TV and Tag Radio be seen and heard by both technology users and technology producers throughout the state of Georgia and around the world. Low cost, big benefits, powerhouse online branded video and audio has arrived. Tag TV, Tag Radio, there's a lot more to know. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. Tag TV and Tag Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Finally, someone has figured out how to connect the dots. No, not a play on words, actually how to converge software applications together to form powerful solutions. Now, almost anyone can create workflows by combining systems like sales, shipping, and financials. You need access to all of your data from a single source? Now you can combine systems like CRM, ERP, SQL Server, SharePoint, Oracle, social networks, and more, all to form one single solution location. Oh, and did I mention there's no coding or database knowledge necessary? Sound like a technology miracle? It gets better. The company is called Code Grail. Greetings, everyone. It's Thursday, November 11, 2010, and this is a special economic gardening edition of Tech Talk with Technology Association of Georgia President Tino Mantella. In this special focus, we go to Savannah, Georgia, as Tino speaks with Dan Scarboro, founder of Code Grail, to explore his innovative company and how that company is exploring new opportunities working with TAG's Economic Gardening Initiative. Dan has a stellar technology career, having served as IT director, senior software architect, senior software engineer, database administrator, software developer, and internet consultant for names like ITAge, NDCH, and Biomedical Services Incorporated. He's an active member of .NET users groups and Atlanta Visual Basic and holds a Microsoft MCP accreditation. From idea to reality, to not only connecting with TAG's Economic Gardening Initiative, but literally showing the entire marketplace how to connect the dots. Tino Tech Talks with Code Grail founder Dan Scarboro.
Dan and Jason, welcome to Tech Talk.
Good to be here. Great.
Let's start out. We'll assume that our listeners may not know about Code Grail, so tell us about the business.
Well, we're a software company, and we kind of start at the basics of software development, and we process it in such a way that we consider to be thought realization. So the way we look at thought realization is the ability to go from actual thought to reality. So when you're creating a product, to be able to take a vision and turn that actually into a product, and in doing so, we start with 100% visualization. So we want to make it simple to create software where users are able to come in and visually design and remove some of the burdens that are associated with software development.
When you talk about visualization, say a little bit more about that. How does that actually work?
Well, traditionally, develop software, you have to hire teams of programmers and developers, and you end up with quite a bit of overhead, I guess, and it takes a long time to develop a whole bunch of applications or whatnot, and our product allows you to do that visually.
Okay, and this is a unique idea, I think, so where did the idea come from?
Okay. Well, there was an original need for thought realization. If you look back through history, companies like Microsoft, in trying to go from thought to reality for companies or software that's being developed, the history started out with, you were trying to manage all this data. You had your green screens, and that progressed on to visualization through like Windows or whatnot, and you had languages out there like C++ that were very complex, and it progressed into there was a need for a more basic implementation of all that. So innovation kind of plateaued out once things became more visualized. So you had like a visual environment such as Visual Basic where you can create all these applications visually, but you still had the complexities of code and everything behind it. So thought realization kind of took a back seat right there at that stage, and Microsoft kind of went more the route of, product features and building out development environments from that aspect. The result of that became that small companies had a couple options. They either used off-the-shelf products for their efforts, or which weren't enough to get what they wanted accomplished,
right.
Sales aspects, or they hired a friend that was a programmer who didn't have a whole lot of expertise in a lot of the areas. Large companies, took the other route. They hired expertise, which like project managers, developers, database administrators, and there was a lot of overhead involved with that.
Right.
So it resulted in a lot of complexities. You had your communication issues, coding and product integration, which required unique skill sets, and a lot of this took a lot of time. So you had, processes and products that were taking months, if not years, to develop, for complex applications. And so there was an obvious need to improve thought realization process, to go back kind of to the basics where you're able to go from a thought to actual product.
Now, you could have opened the company anywhere in the U.S., anywhere in the world, I guess. That's what entrepreneurs get to do. It's one of the special aspects of building your own business. Why Savannah, then?
Well, we looked at Savannah, and we liked the atmosphere. There was a good quality of life. You had beaches that were close by, good climate. Obviously, the commute to work and everything was a lot simpler than dealing with stuff like up in Atlanta or your bigger cities or whatnot. It's also a very fun place to work. You have your historical aspects, your architecture, and it's a good environment. We also saw the growth potential. There were schools here like Georgia Tech and SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, Armstrong, Georgia Southern. These universities that are around here, we kind of look to them to produce some strong talent. So as we hire individuals, successful companies often build off of talent that they pull from strong universities. So schools, like Harvard and Stanford, MIT, have all put out products like your Facebooks and your Microsofts. They all have pulled from the talent that's available at those local schools. So that was a definite strong selling point for us for moving this area.
So talent and environment are the key, and it sounds like then you have enough resources in that area to do what you need to do in terms of developing the business.
We do. We actually contracted with SCAD to do some of our branding or whatnot, and it gave us 17 different aspects, or students and had different opinions on what our branding should be, and it was a much cheaper rate for us actually than to go out and hire a branding firm. So there's tie-ins like that are kind of what we look forward to, and you get a unique perspective. When you have students like that, you get a fresh aspect. You don't have someone who's been in the business for years and years. While they may be talented, they're not as excited for growth, and that was a very big selling point for us as well. So as we bring developers on board, to help us grow our company, that was a definite concern for us.
Well, a number of entrepreneurs will be listening to this program, and I always like to ask the question, what are some of the challenges that your company faced along the way, and how did you resolve them, or how are you resolving them?
Okay. Well, as a startup, of course, just like every other entrepreneur, we have limited resources. Funds, marketing, sales, all those become issues where you try to figure out, well, how do I come up with the money to pay for marketing? How do I and I don't have a whole lot of resources available. So we have been very fortunate. We've built connections actually through TAG that's put us in touch with the economic gardening, things like the economic gardening teams. There's a economic gardening facility out in Littleton, Colorado, or it's headed out of there, that TAG put us in touch with. And we have been able to draw upon their expertise. They advise us. They've been able to do some target marketing, and basically we've been giving them some challenges where they've met them and provided leads to us. that are specifically targeted at what we're trying to accomplish. So we're able to turn those leads into sales, and it's been a really good experience for us.
Well, that's terrific. I'm glad that TAG could play a role. For those listeners that are new to the program or new to TAG, you'll want to know that TAG is not only in the metropolitan Atlanta area, but moving statewide, and we've opened an office in Savannah area, and we focus on economic gardening, which one of the key components of economic gardening is market intelligence for companies like Grail. Let's give you the last chance in this final question, just talk about the company again and how companies listening in can benefit from using Grail products.
Well, back in the beginning we were talking about going from thought to realization. Right now the current state is you have all these developers out there that you want to hire to build out product or whatnot. Sometimes that takes hours, and our products are able to shorten that down to a matter of hours. So you're able to save time and money by speeding up the development process. And you're also able to do it without the expertise of having to hire highly trained staff to do so. And what that turns into is you end up with product analysts or whatnot, people who actually know the company better than anyone else. They're able to build out the product themselves visually. They're able to you're able to use your own teams to do so, where you don't have to actually go out and hire a development team or hire internal developers. Some of the benefits also include being able to leverage current investments. So if you have several different systems, legacy systems or whatnot, where you have a billing system and you have a shipping and order system, you're able to kind of keep your current investments and tap into those and combine them. Grail provides the opportunity for mashups, so you're able to take each one of your systems and kind of mash them together to where in one application you're able to tap into each one of those systems I described, billing and shipping and whatnot. So the process has become a lot faster. You don't have to have an order come in from the web or whatnot and then hand it off to a shipping department and then hand that off to a accounts receivable payable to create invoices for customers. It kind of speeds all that up. So customers are able to adapt, or users of Grail products are able to adapt to the market faster. They're able to come up with ideas on the fly and build products for those ideas and see how they do instantly and not have to wait for months of development work.
Sounds like something our listeners should take advantage of or at least explore. So congratulations on the progress Grail is making, and thanks for joining me on Tech Talk today.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tino.